Gentlemen, we are live. Mic check. Mic check.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
I'm making a video reply to your comment because I asked you a question and you did not respond. So
A piece of my mind.
we're going to have this conversation. We're going to talk about this photo that I posted because you had a problem with me comparing racism to the sexism that a lot of Black men expose Black women to. You guys don't want us talking about sexism. You have a big ass problem with feminism because all you seem to see is racism. It's like y'all refuse to admit the fact that sexism exists and that a lot of you act just like the person who posted this flyer. So we're going to go over it, whether you want to respond to me or not. So first, this says Negroes for sale. All right. So this is what slave masters used to post to let the other slave traders know that they're going to be auctioning off some Black people. Look at the language that they're using. They're using words like peaceful, no troublemakers. Now, keep in mind, a troublemaker to a Black man is a feminist, especially a Black one. Also, they're using words like all house trained, cleans and cooks, irons, makes bed. So I asked you in my comment, is this not the things that Black men say that they are looking for in a wife? And are they not saying that westernized American Black women do not possess these qualities that the slave traders were looking for in a good, obedient slave? Look at some of the other language they're using. They says that this woman is 6 girls that are quiet, not headstrong, because the last thing a Black man wants is a headstrong woman, because a headstrong woman is viewed as being too masculine. This is shit that y'all are on this internet saying on a daily basis nonstop. But the second you see it on this flyer that says Negroes for sale at top, now you're saying I'm sick for comparing the two. Well, they look exactly the fuck alike to me. And here's the thing. It says that they even use the word female on this flyer. So they're referring to Black women that they're selling as females. Y'all refer to us as females all the time. Y'all refuse to call us women. And lastly, the most sick about this all is they said that the girls are budding out, which means they're in puberty. Y'all love talking about how much y'all love younger women and that any woman over the age of 25 is past her prime because women age like milk.
On the ones and two for you, this DJ Torch coming straight at you right here at the DJ Torch and Friends Live Empowerment Channel. Today we got a show for you. It's going to be very interesting. Let's keep it going for now while we let everybody file up into the room. Let everybody file up into this room. Here we go.
Yo, I think that comments are quite possibly one of the most hilarious things in the world.
You niggas commit a lot of crimes and you know it. You are single mothers and you know it.
Are
Stop right.
okay, yeah.
You went and park your car in the hood and I keep that door unlocked.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
Because you know a nigga will take the damn car.
Real talk. Comments is one of the most hilarious things in the world.
You niggas commit a lot of crimes and you know it.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
You are single mothers and you know it. Stop right.
Okay, yeah.
You went and park your car in the hood and I keep that door unlocked.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
Because you know a nigga will take the damn car.
I'm not gonna put you in a locker.
Because it really showcases a woman's true nature. I think that the internet is beautiful. And the reason that the internet is beautiful is because it actually showcases and exposes the nature of who people really are.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
You want to know what's really wrong with the Black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. She's the enemy.
Stop capping.
I'll give you an example.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
Whenever you hold women accountable or whenever you say something that may go against the public perception or the traditional norms and you actually tell the truth and you call people out for what they are.
Stop capping.
And this has been happening since the beginning of time, at least.
He's playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than a white man ever had.
Stop capping.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
We had to build a plane.
while we were trying to fly it at the same time.
Stop capping.
But a lot of people look at the successes, or they look at what they think.
He's playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has.
Stop capping.
She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community.
Stop capping.
Because she's the very person that comes in with deceit.
Stop capping.
Y'all do a silly clown dance for us.
Looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Really, nigga?
And then she'll move on when it's all said and done, and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I will say, across the board, black women are the lowest.
What? What's going on?
What?
Stop capping.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has.
Stop capping.
Throw that hoe out with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the fuck over. Get a whole new group of women, and then fix the community that way.
What? What's going on?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Y'all are going to jail.
I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us.
Mainly, how about you pay for our trip and we smash? Excuse me?
I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
So I get smashed and you make money and you get a trip? Come on now. You guys have no respect for me, no respect for yourself, actually.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
All right, everybody, on the ones and twos, this is DJ Torch coming straight back at you right here at the #1 spot, the DJ Torch and Friends Live Empowerment Network. And I will tell you, my friends put a great show together tonight. Yep, the crew did so good. I am excited to get back into it. But before I do that, let me get some shout outs out the way. Maybe play a little bit of a, put a little spin here. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Just a little ambiance. You know how we go. Ambiance. Okay. In the house. Cyber Dreams. In the house. Getting in caskets. Ammo. In the house. Pax. Indiana Mom. Kevin. Miss RV, Feisty Black Tina, Alexander Brannan, Henry Mars, Benji Masu. We up in here. If I missed your name, just do me a favor, tap it on the bottom so we can make sure we get all shout outs out of the way. So, how, we did some digging today, and, we're wondering what's making, bandits. I won't say black men. I'm going to say bandits destroy the community, because to me, it's like this. This is the deal. If you are doing ratchet shit as a black male, if you are doing and harming people, if you are being deceitful and sinful, you're no longer a black man in my book. You have just now evolved into the world of banditry. You just evolved into the world of banditry. You're choosing not to be a man anymore. You have chosen to not be a black man anymore. You have chosen sin. You have chosen selfishness, lack of empathy, and you are now a bandit. Because you did not have to go there. No one told you to go there, but you went there. But just in case, you need some mental health. Let's go over that real quick, because here's the problem I have. You say that you complain about all these problems that we as Black men have, which is cool. It's okay to complain, but then you seek no help for the problem. Instead, you blame an exterior element. And in this case, the element you blame the most is the Black woman. The most helpful person ever to the Black man, and you chose that person. Okay, you chose that person to demean, insult, brutalize, harass, dehumanize. And you literally are praising other people that really don't care about you that much, at least in the group. So let me play a little bit something to see if we can get our mental health together. Here we go.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Daybreak. You know, all morning long, we've been showcasing and showing you many organizations and ways to celebrate Black History Month across DFW. But we want to switch gears, pivot just a little bit this morning to talk about a serious subject, one that has been taboo in the Black community for generations. It was 2 months ago, Stephen Twitch Boss took his own life, which surprised a lot of his fans. And when you read the comments, the threads were mainly the same question. He was so happy, and how could this happen? Well, through some very personal stories from 5 different Black men, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to attempt to answer that question. How could something like this happen? Now, I do want to warn you, some of this content may be triggering, especially if you've dealt with mental health issues yourself. When you think about mental health, what does that mean to you now versus when you first learned that this was even a thing?
Oh, let me take a deep breath on this one.
It's a question that'll make anyone take a moment to just think.
In general, mental health is one of those things that it's not like, hey, today I want to start working on mental health. It's more like, oh, going through a whole lot.
An internal battle of how Black men see themselves.
I am unworthy.
I'm broken.
I'm scared.
Not good enough.
And how the world sees them.
I didn't realize what was happening to me over time. I felt like it would be better just to end it.
As athletes, you don't have time to process. You don't have time to deal with what you're feeling.
Life was really just building up on top of me, and it felt like you're slowly kind of like drowning.
Whether to turn to faith.
So I said, Pop, you can't talk about the Bible and not mention mental health.
Or fear.
I had to go against what I was taught.
Who do you turn to?
Did you talk about mental health growing up?
No, mental health was not a thing that we talked about in the house.
And how?
Black men especially, we don't really express how we feel in a way that shows our vulnerability.
But now, we're finding new ways to create space.
I am redefining Black mental health with new words.
I am present.
I am worthy.
I understand who I am.
That I am enough.
I am enough now and always.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. So basically the thing is that if you're stressed, strained out, angry all the time, just get some help. It's that simple. But you can keep making up excuses, but excuses is not going to help you. But you know something? I have your hero. I have your hero lined up, ready to go. So let's go.
If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make your asset how do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry?
I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. Put her in classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, put in that time to make her a better person. Correct? Am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you adopt? And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
I never thought about that.
Well, and that's the problem.
What would you suggest? I'm just wondering because
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care of? Does she understand, and do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's
keep listening. Keep listening.
say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Keep listening. Keep listening. I need to play that over again. I need to play that over again.
And said, Kevin touched me, and your child is 5. That's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
This is what Kevin Samuels just said. I can't, this is the epitome. Remember this man here, he is the representative of the Black manosphere. The Black community, and the Black manosphere says they represent the Black community, the Black male community. So if that's the case, then what deduction should an intellectual person take? Oh, he didn't mean it that way. He didn't mean it that way. He didn't mean it that way.
We have 2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
I could do the whole live just on this part right here, but we have plenty more to go. I got to play this one more time, and this time I even put on the closed caption because just in case you thought you heard something wrong, okay? Just in case you heard something wrong. Here we go.
2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Let me pause it. I need to go back. Yeah, look, read the screen, everybody, read it together here because we want to make sure he said what he said. We don't want, red splinters coming through saying, oh, he didn't say that. Kevin touched, looked at me getting out of the shower. And he was referring to, let's go back, let's go back, let's go back, let's go back.
Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal that's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together. Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have 2 kids together, right? And your child, right?
Was 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes.
So 5, so is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes
home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids. And off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids.
No, the kids are going with her, fella. You heard him. You heard him. This is a nice warm up to the show. A nice warm up in the house. Camo, Kittens and Caskets, Indiana Mom, Cyber Dreams, the Quinto Foxes in the house. We're going to keep this going. LW Hub for Women is here as well. We're going to keep this going because this is going to get good. But you heard what he said. He represents black. I guess the Black Manosphere say he represents black men. Yeah. Is that really how we want to go? This is what represents you, fellas. For real? For real?
Understood.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. No,
you said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
Remember now, he's not blaming Kevin in this instance. He's not saying, well, that was so horrible, you should go. So you can only think, it makes me kind of feel sad for his daughter, because who knows?
That's a tough situation.
No, you said the relationship would have to end. So
it would have to end because.
But
now he is shaming this woman for making the right decision.
Any of my kids, if I had 3 kids, 1 by someone else and 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is what we tell our 2 children.
Come to a situation and we have to part ways.
You get the fuck out. You can get the fuck out.
Because I'm not the one paying the bill.
No, because you're not taking my kids. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I mean. Y'all act like y'all got too much power.
It's not.
Wow. So basically what Kevin is trying to do is convince this young lady to allow her significant other, whoever it may be, to abuse her children. A lot of people are like, well, why do you guys always play these videos about, this and that? You are literally listening to your hero telling you that it's okay for you to play around with the children. That's what he's saying. He put in a hypothetical theory, but that's basically what he's saying. And he's believing that you ladies will take the bait and allow men to abuse the loves of your life. LW, you nailed it. He I don't know if he's on crack, but he definitely was. He definitely was on one too many cans of Red Bull, that's for sure. I mean, it's crazy. It is. It's that disgusting. It's that bad. It's that bad. Yep. Henry, it is. It's creepy. And see, that's why, this is why I am not cool with the 95% of the Black manosphere. The little 5% chunk being the guys that literally do want to build themselves up to be better men. The rest, trash.
Power.
First of all, you didn't even. First off, you didn't even. I just said if she said it, you didn't even question whether or not the claim was there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's your child. That's why I'm saying your child can never be an asset to anybody. Ask you to treat your child like it's biologically mine when you be willing to blow up my biological children's shit or something else.
See, that's manipulation right there. Because basically, if he has kids with her, they're all her biological kids. We know that, right? But he's trying to make it sound like the kids that he has with her are just his. Ain't that something?
You know, kids can say anything.
They can, but you have to protect your kids at all costs.
Then
you got to talk.
Then no.
Mm-hmm.
Leave. No. Let's switch the situation. If I'm that child's biological father, and she comes out of the shower, and 10 years later, Daddy looked at me a certain kind of way, and I'm her biological dad, then what do you say?
That's even worse. I mean, you got to remember now, it takes a lot to think like that. Shout out. Cyber Dreams in the house. Bomb Cherry in the house. Indiana Moms in the house. KMO Kittens and Caskets is in the house. Legs for Life is in the house. Eat, Pray, Yoga is in the house. Man, this is. I wonder if we'll have any Kevin Samuels defenders in the house today. We will see, because this is getting very interesting. Here we go.
But you notice how you couldn't pull rank on me? You couldn't pull that. We got to separate. You couldn't pull rank on me.
Oh, no. She could. She could pull rank on you. And if you did do that to your daughter, she could take your kid too, because you'd be going to prison.
You couldn't pull biological rank. You want to, but you're like, well, damn, it's his kid too.
It would have to be an situation as well.
And you have to get the fuck out. And you have to get out. And you have to get out.
Understood. I completely understand that.
So
you want to know something? This is how Predos work. This is how Predos work. This is how they work. They manipulate their target into thinking they are wrong, so they can do what they do. See, the thing is that it's almost like the Black male community is eroding from morality, especially as it pertains to, children. This makes me understand why and how these men that I have met in other rooms, why they think the way they do. Children to them, to most of them, is just a byproduct of their promiscuity. That's all it is. That's why it's hard for me to respect, especially men in the Black manosphere. It's like, you guys, do you guys really even, I mean, really? And then you come back and say, well, that, you know, all those scenarios you're talking about never happened. Well, you're going to find out soon enough. Here we go.
For who? You believe. This is why you don't deal with women with children, because, especially in our community, there is no blending families when this kind of stuff comes up. Because single mothers are too used to pulling rank. Okay. This is why single mothers are potentially so dangerous, because you're not used to having.
Now all of a sudden, single mothers are the ones that are dangerous. That's weird. This is cringy. I don't see how. I'd be shocked if this video is still up on Kevin Samuels' channel. A big shout out to Hot Mess for having it ready for us. Like and subscribe. Give them a love. Just like that. This is the LW Academy Hub for Women says this. Why is he stressing that she would have to get out like she gives a bleep? Right? Yep. No doubt she would gladly leave if you're perving on her child. Right. He's giving us a great, Kevin can be a great learning tool. He's showing us the mentality of the Black male community. And it's not a good look. Not a good look at all. It's this is weird.
Actually split the responsibility. It's your child. And that's fine. But then if
this is why his wife left him, because he probably did the same thing to his wife.
Why should any man have to deal with that? Mm-hmm. So I feel sorry for you ladies, but this is the positions a lot of women put themselves.
Don't feel sorry for the ladies, because women right now are living their best life, and well, them Red Bulls, you know, did what they do.
And then we're supposed to do what about it? Because if it was biologically my child, you said it will be over. Why would you not question your child? Why would you not question it? Why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Girl, whatever, that's your daddy.
Girl, whatever, that's your daddy. So if
yeah, children lie. Are you kidding me? Children lie. Children lie. Children lie.
let me show you what happens when you go by the Kevin Samuels theory. Stuff like this happens here.
Stunning turn of events tonight in the case of a man accused of sexually assaulting and then killing his 8-month-old baby girl. He's about to be released from jail. 7 Action News reporter Curtis Jackson live tonight to explain why. Curtis?
Well, Stephen, James Salt Marshall II is still behind bars here at the Wayne County Jail tonight, but he won't be for long. His ordered release pending trial, even outraging his mother. This never happened. Salt Marshall, who wept uncontrollably during his last court appearance, will soon be a free man. Prosecutors say they need more time to investigate and gather forensic evidence, so the judge is releasing Salt Marshall on his own recognizance.
What the hell? Look at those eyes right there. That's the eyes of a killer right there. So I don't know what they're talking about. How does this work?
Even his mother, who spoke exclusively with 7 Action News, doesn't agree with that decision.
This should not be taken lightly that he's out.
Salt Marshall was staying with the baby in this Inkster motel. He called 911 last week to say she fell, hit her head, and wasn't breathing. Investigators say she had injuries consistent with a sexual assault.
At times, we create monsters, and I may have created one of those monsters.
Salt Marshall says her granddaughter's mother, who has not been charged, was also staying in the same room.
I will get handed to her. At least she took ownership of that. But sometimes there's nothing you can do.
At work when Salt Marshall called for help and has since defended him on social media.
I'm not understanding the Bonnie and Clyde relationship. I don't understand it. And I think that both of them.
This happened because he didn't care. I mean, whether it was purposeful or not, a child under his care passed away.
Should be held until.
Salt Marshall's father declined to speak on camera, but confirmed his son will be released with a GPS tether. Salt Marshall must also avoid contact with children. His mother warns those conditions won't keep her son out of trouble.
If you tell him to go right, he's going to go left. He's not going to follow those rules.
It could take a few days for Salt Marshall to receive that GPS tether. Should he violate any of the conditions of his release, he will be put back behind bars and held on a $2 million bond. Live in Detroit tonight, Curtis Jackson, 7 Action News.
So is this the spoils of war Kevin Samuels was talking about? Is that it? Well, there are, people in the community. There are good Black men in the community. We have, people who, Black men, pastors, judges, good men in the community. But not this one.
A local pastor now facing continuous sexual assault of a child. According to official documents, Robert L. Carter.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Best fathers. If you count a small number.
Repeatedly raped a young family member, even impregnating her.
Tonight, her father is speaking only to our Devin Clark, who is live outside of HPD headquarters with further details. Devin.
I got to tell you, this warrant states that the rapes started when this girl was just 7 years old and lasted well into her late teens, happening at least 600 times with a felony charge now filed. The alleged victim's father is speaking out, but we do want to warn you, what you're about to hear may be extremely disturbing.
I need to stop it right there. What you may hear could be very disturbing. Daddy's home.
She had been around this monster since she was about 6 years old.
This man asked not to be identified as to protect his daughter's identity. That isn't stopping him from speaking out about this man, 39-year-old Robert L. Carter, who he says was a family member to his daughter.
He's always been big to her, and I had realized that she'd been fearful.
The man whose profile on the Black Preachers Network website has him listed as a bishop and senior pastor.
The Black Preachers Network. Let me drop the link. It's time for that. Pop this up in here just in case somebody wants to come up and express either their disgust or defend. Either way, let's check it out.
Pastor is now an accused rapist.
I don't understand, how you can carry yourself, walk around preaching the word and living, a lie.
According to Carter's arrest warrant filed last month, the abuse began back in 2008 when the victim was 7 years old. It states he would go in her room and make her perform a sex act on him on a nightly basis.
How? How could you even get aroused? It doesn't make any sense.
The warrant states the abuse got worse over the years and that it would happen in multiple locations, including their home when everyone was asleep, Carter's grandmother's home, and behind an HEB in the parking lot before dropping the victim off at school.
Oh, yeah, but he was providing protection, right? Fellas from Dee Dee's room. He's providing protection, right? Spoils of wars, that's what you guys want to say, right? He's providing protection.
The document also states that Carter would bring the victim here to the Greater Bible Way Church in Sunnyside, where he had an office, and rape her.
She's had an episode where she ended up in the hospital, for psychiatric reasons.
The warrant states she secretly had Carter's baby.
What if she would have died that night? She has a baby.
Whoa, you heard it.
If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make it? Because to me getting out of the shower. Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you, because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids. And off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids. Do you?
No,
you said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
That's a tough situation.
No, you said the relationship would have to end. So
it would have to end because.
But what would you tell
any of my kids? If I had 3 kids, 1 by someone else and 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is, what we tell our 2 children.
It comes to a situation and we have to part ways.
Now a heinous crime that sends chills down your spine. In Forest City, Arkansas, a teenage father, this man right here, charged with raping his own daughter. Terrible enough. And then you hear the little girl. This victim of rape was just 8 days old. News Channel 3's Omari Fleming is just back from Forest City with the latest on this investigation. Omari?
Well, Richard, why didn't you marry your child's father?
Why didn't I marry my daughter's father? Because I didn't want to. And we were not, that was not the path that I took for a reason.
I'm asking why.
I just didn't want to. He wasn't marriage material.
But he was birth material.
Yeah, he was someone that I did have a child with.
No, man.
And that's okay.
See, I want you to, and see, the reason I'm doing this, man, the reason I'm doing this is I want you to understand these women are so much character driven.
If you're not getting back to the child's father, how do you think you can make your ass package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happened?
Tonight's top story, an 8-day-old baby girl in Arkansas is in the hospital. Forest City police say she was raped and beaten by her own father. Here's the guy police say did it. 18-year-old Reginald Davis. Tonight he's charged with rape and second-degree battery. Eyewitness use.
If you're not getting back to the child's father, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship would have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you, because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids, and off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids.
Listen to them. This is how they talk. This is how they gain access. This is how it goes down. Let's go to the story of Alaska Dad.
Now at 5:30, a suspected double murderer from Alaska is found hiding on Staten Island. A raid by Homeland Security agents and NYPD detectives ended this cross-country search. And now this double murder mystery has a disturbing twist. Chief Investigative Reporter Jonathan Dienst has more now. John.
Out of the suspected Alaska killer hiding here in New York is also an accused child rapist. HSI agents and police were seen earlier today making the arrest in the Emerson Hills section of Staten Island. 39-year-old Jelani Blackshear taken into custody after an Alaska to New York manhunt. Investigators searching the Harold Street home where he was believed to be hiding out. They say Blackshear, a correction officer, used a shotgun to shoot and kill his 14-year-old daughter and her mom back on April 15th. This after the teen accused him on March 30th of raping her. Prosecutors say hospital DNA tests on the girl were positive for a sex assault. Knowing he was under investigation, but before those DNA results came in, Anchorage police say Blackshear went on a rampage. They say he quit his corrections officer job and then went home and shot his daughter and her mom. They say.
So I thought the fathers were supposed to be a benefit to the home. But you heard what old Lord Samuel said, right? Lord Samuel's daddy's home. Daddy's home. So he wants you to stick it out with, Kevin wants you to stick it out with guys like this. Stick out the relationship with guys like this. Drums in the house. LW breaks it down like this. There's no amount of forked tongue talk that would make me doubt myself on this one. Anybody who would be swayed by that was already a pick-me. Bridget's in the house. Welcome, Bridget.
Blackshear next fled Anchorage and flew here to New York. He was considered armed and dangerous. Blackshear had a hearing in Brooklyn federal court this afternoon. A judge ordered him held without bail pending his return to Alaska on the double murder and child sex abuse charges. His public defender had no comment. Investigators here are looking to see if anyone in New York knowingly helped him hide while wanted on the Alaska murder and child rape counts. The investigation ongoing. Adam?
Okay, Jonathan Dienst with the latest on that mystery. Thank you so much, John.
The worst nightmare you can imagine. Just a heartbreaking story tonight. An Elk Grove family is mourning the murder of their daughter and granddaughter.
My daughter was a victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
It was carefully hidden. It appears that the violence would happen infrequently enough that my daughter felt that she could endure.
35-year-old Rachel Blackshear and her daughter Jayla were found dead in Anchorage, Alaska. Police arrested 39-year-old Jaylani Blackshear, the husband, in Staten Island, New York, for his connection to the double homicide.
Look, she looks so adorable too. Oh my. Ugh.
It forced us into a painful new reality that you wouldn't wish this on anyone. I don't care how much you didn't like someone. This is a pain that no one ever wants to feel. Now, according
If you're not getting back to the child's father, okay, does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest.
This is what happens when your husband comes first.
It's a package deal, that's no deal. Because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin,
No, you first said, dude, you first said touched. You see how he's manipulating the conversation?
touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you because off the rip, you're
the worst nightmare you can imagine. Just a heartbreaking story tonight. An Elk Grove family is mourning the murder of their
That's what happens when you follow Kevin's advice.
daughter and granddaughter.
My daughter was a victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
It was carefully hidden. It appears that the violence would happen infrequently enough that my daughter felt that she could endure.
35-year-old Rachel Blackshear and her daughter Jayla were found dead in Anchorage, Alaska. Police arrested 39-year-old Jaylani Blackshear, the husband, in Staten Island, New York, for his connection to the double homicide. It forced us into a painful new reality that you wouldn't wish this on anyone. I don't care how much you didn't like someone. This is a pain that no one ever wants to feel. Now, according to Anchorage police, officers did a welfare check on Blackshear's home, and that is when they found the mom and daughter dead. Now her family back in Elk Grove wants the public to hear one important message.
I do want to get the word out about domestic violence, that if you suspect something, to say something, and I know that it might mean jeopardizing
a friendship
or access, but I feel like it's worth that to keep them alive. You just don't know how it's going to end.
Okay, so take a look. There is help out there. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is taking calls. The number is...
Let me pause that, but I'm going to leave that number up. I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to leave this up for a minute. You can always pause the tape later on. Check it out. All right. Let's keep this going. Let's see what's going on with PNB Rock. We're gonna kind of sway away from it. Let's break it down just like this.
Legal documents are giving us new details about what led to the arrests in the killing of rapper PNB Rock. Gigi here with the latest.
Now, both Freddie Lee Trone, who had been on the run but was arrested in Las Vegas yesterday, and his 17-year-old son have been charged with murder in the death of rapper
Well, everybody's in.
in B-Rock, although prosecutors say it was the teenager who actually shot and killed him. And today we're learning more about what happened that fateful day. Now, the timeline in the felony complaint says that Freddie Lee Trone met with someone outside Roscoe's just moments after PNB Rock and his girlfriend arrived. Trone is then seen leaving, but he returns shortly. This time, he's with his 17-year-old son, who was reportedly armed with a gun. Trone drops him off a short...
Fellas, do you see the problem we have? You're concerned with black women, but I think we got some work to do ourselves, right? As black men, how are we allowing men like this on the screen to walk around in our community, terrorizing it? How are you allowing that? So you are on some red pill channel right now, complaining about black women, and you got guys like this running rampant right around you every day. Doesn't that bother you? Maybe not. In the house, Quita Ward, Camo, Kittens and Caskets, Indiana Mom. I mean, doesn't that, the LaQuinto Fox is here too. Doesn't that bother you guys? I mean, doesn't that get on your nerves that you have men like this that are willing to prey on your loved ones around you? But when you get home, you log into your computer, you get on YouTube, and you complain about black women. While this guy's out there willing to take you out, PMB Rock out, your loved ones out, everybody out. Don't you find that your actions are kind of weird? Doesn't it feel a little bit obsolete that you're complaining about women, but there's monsters like this right around the corner from you, and you know it too. You've seen them, you know what they did. You've heard it around, you've heard what's going on in the community. And you did nothing. See, if it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect you, right? But I guarantee you, it's gonna creep up on one of you. It's gonna creep up on one of you. This guy's going to get somebody in your family because you were too focused on black women. Complaining about submission and shit. This guy's sending his kid in to do the job.
Distance away from Roscoe's. The teen then walks into the restaurant and goes straight to the table where the rapper and his girlfriend were eating, pointing a gun at them, prosecutors allege, and saying, quote, "Give me all of your jewelry now." The timeline then has the teen shooting PNB in the chest, just like that. And after he fell to the ground, prosecutors say the teen shot him 2 more times in the back. The felony complaint goes on to say the teenager then pointed that gun at PNB's girlfriend, Steph, saying, quote, "Show me your hands, give me that blank right now. I swear to God, I shoot you in the head." The teen then took her jewelry, but it didn't end there. The complaint went on to say that as the rapper lay dying on the floor, the teenager robbed him too, taking his chains and watch and even pulling his rings off of his fingers. The timeline ends with the father and...
Do you know how cold-blooded that had to be? Do you know how hardcore that had to be? Don't you guys see that that's the problem in the community? I thought fathers were supposed to enhance the life of their kids, not destroy it. Not only to destroy the life of his own kid, but of PNB Rock. I mean, famous stars can't even be, stars can't even be famous. I mean, safe. That's amazing. Let me drop the link. If anyone would like to come up and discuss, debate, or comment, feel free to do so. This is something else. Yeah, see, the thing is that what's the point of having a community, but then allowing monsters to run the community? I mean, think about it. What's the point of saying you have a community when you're letting these monsters run through it? And Kevin ain't helping. That's my point. Men like Kevin are not helping. Men like Obsidian are not helping. Men like MTR are not helping. They're trying to make you think that the woman's the problem when you can see why the women are so cautious of you. This right here, right now, as I spoke, it's been an hour. So at least one brother has lit up another. Welcome, Sam. Welcome, Indiana Mom, Bridget, Camo, Quita Ward in the house. I mean, can't you understand at all that it has nothing to do with Black women? A little mamming here and there. And that's why it brings me on to another subject is why are women in the manosphere attacking each other? I saw a couple of videos today of people, one YouTuber, and they understand. I understand. I know enough about these women that I understand. I know they know about the brutality out there in the Black community, the Black male community, the brutality. Yet they want to start going in on other female YouTubers. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It don't make sense. Welcome, Cyber. How you doing?
What's up? We live, Craig. We live.
We are all the way live. Hey, all the way live. Okay.
We all the way live. But anyways, I wanted to say something towards all the videos I just watched. It's amazing to me that we cover these type of stories, right? And then we get attacked for covering these type of stories as if we're just pulling it out the sky.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make sense that we get stalked, we get threatened for covering these type of stories, which are real life, reality, up in your face news. It's not like we using other content creators stuff. This is news, free to the public. And for these guys to attack people that's in the alarm, it just shows that they agree with these type of activities. They think about these activities. And I came up with a new thing. We're under a pandemic. It's a pandemic out here. It's in the air. I don't know what it is, but keep your distance. It's going to take extreme measures for the ones that are still here, because they not only are they essaying adult women, they're doing infants. This is out of all of my years on this earth, I have never came across so many males that is essaying infants. I never heard of this as a child. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's beyond me. It's, you know, it is beyond me. I don't know what's going on in this world.
So what do we do? What do we do? Completely walk away, wake up as many mammies and pygmies as we can.
I mean, the thing is this, it's such a shame, because really, quite honestly, the Black manosphere could be very helpful in this situation if they were really what they were supposed to be. If they were really supposed to upbring the community, well, number one, this would have never have happened. But they're not. They're
just like the preacher guy.
They're literally doing the reverse.
Like the preacher guy, the father lived in the house. How you not know what the hell is going on? So I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I'm convinced what Priscilla said. Priscilla said they don't belong in a home with women and children. This is Priscilla's theory.
Mm-hmm.
They belong outside of the home.
I mean, apparently it's the only proof we got. The only proof we have. I mean, what else can we say?
They can't curb their animalistic behaviors. So we're going to have a 2-home relationship?
Right.
That's where we're going? Like, oh, okay, I live here, you live there, and we be together?
Exactly. By the way, everyone, Cynthia G has a new channel. So I want to announce it. Check it out. I believe we have the link on the community page. I like that though, Bandemic. That was a good one. But yeah, I don't get it. I mean, you see the world. You see, as a Black man in the community, you see the walls crumbling down, and you see that it's your fellow man making those walls crumble. But somehow you blame it on the woman. Let's say you blamed it on the woman. She brought up the bad kid. Well, the bottom line is this: let's say let's roll with that for a minute. You still got to do something, right? You're not going to just sit there and watch it crumble, because you're not getting out of the hood. Because if you did, if all Black men got out of the hood, I hate to say it, fellas, the hood would be good. If we left and it was just Black women in the hood, right? It would be all good. That's how you know it's us. So how many of you guys going to stop going to these toxic manosphere channels that talk abuse, that talk disrespectfully about Black women, knowing you got creeps that we showed in this show out on the street preying on those you love?
No, they want to silence us. As long as we had not said anything and we wasn't producing receipts, they was fine with it. But the day women started coming out, I'm talking about women before us, women who have been doing the sound of the alarm. The minute they started talking, they got a problem.
Yep.
Don't talk about what we do. And they've been doing a lot for decades.
And
but
it's
I'm
weird.
just
You know what's weird to me though? Get this. You see how, you know, us black men, we be lighting each other up one an hour, right? You would think it would be about, you know, maybe, you know, that guy did something to one of your family members or what, you know, your daughter or your mom or something, and that's why you lit dude up, you know. No, these dudes are lighting each other up because of another dude, gang or no gang. That's the weird part.
you know, then they would say, well, all races of men do this, but not on a level as this.
Right.
They don't move like this. You didn't show back-to-back clips of different males that are melanated messing with children.
Yep. All night.
And then they're getting younger and younger.
Yep.
Infants at that.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about that guy. Camo said that he lived in a house with his uncle. He's such a lame. How you a father in the same house?
Right.
Right. And this is going on.
I know what the deal is. The father said, I'll tell you what, you can, here's my rent money. And he points to his daughter. That's how it went down. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, subconsciously.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, subconsciously. That's how it went down. There's no way, unless you live in a huge mansion, you're not going to know what's going on.
That's why he didn't have enough passion when he was getting interviewed and shit.
Right.
I'll have several seats. I almost start cursing.
I think I want to play Kevin again. I want to play Kevin and see what he was saying one more time. One more time on the strength. Here we go.
If you're not getting back to your child's father, how do you think you can make your asset how do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry?
I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general.
And look at the word asset.
Classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, you know, put in that time to make her a better person. Correct? Am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can your
assets benefit you, right?
Answer for themselves.
Exactly.
So, you know what? These guys talking code. I got a question for the ladies. I'm new to this space. Since Kevin Samuel came out, has these degenerate activities, have they increased since he came out and died?
Put a 1 in the chat if it's yes, 2 for no.
So basically he's saying, how would that child benefit the man? In what way? Was he talking about income tax or sexual proclivities? I'm gonna look at the chat. Okay, I'm gonna digress.
How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
I never thought about that.
Well, and that's the problem.
What would you suggest? I'm just wondering because
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability.
Welcome, Lily Lotus. Welcome, Quita Ward. Welcome, Sam. Welcome, Indiana Mom. Welcome, Cyber Dreams.
I would like Sam to hit the link. I promise we he talking about men are not degenerate. Which men? The white man who control? Asian men who run technology? Which men are you talking about, Sam? Hit the link. We are very professional up here. We will not disrespect you, but we want to hear your opinion. Please mansplain it.
Because it costs. So number one, is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care of? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship.
She didn't say call the police though.
Because your daughter said I looked at her getting out of the shower.
I can't with these mammies, Torch. I can't.
Looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you, because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids.
That's a good point. Actually, to go back with that.
We're a package deal. If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal.
Because what comes out your mouth first, usually the truth or a lie, right?
Right.
She thought about it a little bit and she said, oh, that would have to end. She didn't say call the police.
Right. Which should be, I mean, really, it should be both. It should end and you should call the police, and that should be the last you see him do.
A normal woman that's not a mammy would have said, call the damn police.
Yeah.
What you mean? What are you talking about, Kevin? I feel insulted right now. She should have hung up in his face.
I know. Straight up.
Let's say we have 2 kids together, and your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. What happens next?
The relationship will have to end.
Huh?
That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your
But she's not giving them to the authorities though. Interesting.
Exactly.
I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you, because off the rip, your desire to defend.
She's agreeing with this bullshit.
Yep. Can you believe it? Lily Lotus said she'd call the FBI. I hear that.
You know, it reminds me of the other one. It reminds me of the live yesterday when they caught the uncle with the 16-year-old. None of those women called the police.
Yep. Quita Ward says, nah, beat your ass. Then you call the police.
Come on, Sam, hit that link.
You got 2 of my kids, and off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids. Do you?
Exactly, Bridget. Why is he feeling her out? To see what he can get away with? Exactly. See, he's showing us, number one, why he got divorced, and number 2, how men with his same ideology operate. This is exactly what you should expect from anybody in the Black manosphere. This is how they operate. Basically, you're a resource for their consumption. That's what you are. They don't care about building or growing a good family or anything of that. They're thinking that's just going to happen on the cuff.
You said the relationship would have to end. So what would you tell our 2 children?
That's a tough situation.
No, you said the relationship would have to end. So
He pray yoga about that. Is you better run. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to protect your kid. You better run. Yeah.
And her indecisiveness is feeding his narrative.
Exactly.
You damn mammy.
But what would you tell
any of my kids? If I had 3 kids, 1 by someone else and 2 by my.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm saying is what we tell our 2 children.
No, they're not. As soon as you, this is how it works. And I'm going to tell you how it works. Legally, maybe. Spiritually, as soon as the father starts touching the kids, all bets are off. Okay? That BS about, oh yeah, you have to take one for the team. F that. F that. Welcome, Vada. Miss RV, excellent work. Camo, excellent work. Excellent work.
Come to a situation and we have to part ways.
You get
that is the right answer right there. That is the right answer. Let me play that right here.
Come to a situation and we have to part ways.
You get the fuck out. You can get
The only thing she left out is calling the feds. He's a groomer.
He's a groomer.
Yes.
He's teaching men how to infiltrate single mothers. I remember You Can't Let Go. He said something similar to this. He said when he dates single mothers, he starts asking about the kids. I don't want to quote him verbatim because I have to listen to the video again, but he said something similar.
Let me see if I can dig that up. Hold on one second. That's a good point. Mr. Let it go. Single mothers. Let go. Okay. Is it short?
I don't know which one it is. You know, he talks so much shit.
Yeah, he does.
He says something similar.
I'm going to put him on just to hear, just so we can hear another misogynist view. Here we go.
Y'all, it is really sad because so many landlords are no longer accepting Section 8 vouchers to the point where in Atlanta, people are staying in.
Okay, this is one of those
shelter.
ones that he doesn't talk in. I want to hear him talk.
I think it was single mothers if he's dating her. He had on a red shirt. I know that for sure.
You always wear. Okay, let's see if this is it.
I'm gonna find it later.
Currently pregnant again.
No, that's not it.
I found out how far along I was. I reached out to my ex-boyfriend to let him know.
Okay, I can't find it. We'll look for it though. I'll feature it for sure. Let's go back to his buddy Kevin.
Yeah. Because I'm not the one paying the bills.
No, because you're not taking my kids. See, that's what I mean.
You not taking, they're not your kids, bro. As soon as you start abusing the kids, you're going to, if the woman worked it out right, she'd put you in prison and then the kids would be all hers, including the one that you had. And I guarantee you, if you had been doing the same to your own kid, then that child would have no problem going with the mom.
And then they in the manosphere they have this saying, don't date single women with kids, right?
Right.
But a lot of these men, they be getting these women pregnant twice. So so what are they really saying? I think it's cold talk. I think we have to start looking at them as cold talk.
Yep.
Because they say don't date them, but then they get with them to get close to their children.
Right. I mean, black women shouldn't have to worry about this. But it's a thing.
I got too much power.
It's not power. I'm really
First of all, you didn't even.
Wait a minute. They're her kids. How's that too much power? See, this is sickening.
And people put in the chat Torch 1. So the increase happened after this guy came out. I remember Camel said something in the chat. That's why he's gone. The universe ain't playing with these dusties.
No.
First off, you didn't even, I just said if she said it. You didn't even question whether or not the claim was there. Mm-hmm. Because that's your child. That's what I'm saying. Your child can never be an asset to anybody. Ask you to treat your child like it's biologically mine when you be willing to blow up my biological children's shit or something else. And you know kids can say anything.
No, so that's what it is. It's that and that's the scam. So the scam is this is you need to save our family. Meanwhile, I'm going to abuse them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
The one he didn't make. The one he didn't make.
Who knows? And he might have done that to the one he made too.
Mm-hmm.
First, he makes her kids his kids. Okay. Then he makes all of the kids his resource. Conscious Mind Love, welcome. Breaks it down like this. Evening, peoples. This video with Kevin Samuels is so triggering. And there were people saying that it's not what he meant. Yep, I'm sure it's exactly what he meant. His track record shows it. Even if an example, that was a very bad example to use. Right. How did he think that one up? That's hey, it's not our fault. We're going to go by what he says.
Yeah, they always try to give new definitions to words. He said
right.
Touch came out of the shower.
Right.
How can you?
That's them red-splaining. They're doing that red-splaining. Red pill explaining.
They do that shit a lot. Yep. They talk shit and be like, oh, it was just a joke. I was just joking. But you already said it. You already put it out.
Right. Pray Yoga says this. When they say they don't date single mothers, it's that they don't want to take care of anyone. Yeah. Let me say that one more time more clearly. Pray Yoga says, when they say they don't date single mothers, it's that they just don't want to take care of anyone. Hit and quit with these selfish guys. Exactly. And the stats show it, that we are the hit and quit kings of the community. We need to change that. That's my point.
But you have to protect your kids at all costs.
Then
you got to talk.
Then no. Mm-hmm. Leave. No. Let's switch the situation. If I'm that child's biological father and she comes out of the shower and 10 years later, daddy looked at me a certain kind of way and I'm her biological dad, then what do you
say? What is there to think about, Mammy?
Karen Ridgway breaks it down like this. I know a man who R'd his daughter and his wife's daughter from a previous marriage while the girls were under the age of 12. The wife was also pregnant with his child. Welcome, Karen. Welcome to this chat. Man, I mean, now you see, the thing is this, I understand this is not the most fun. This is not the best fun live stream somebody could do, but you got to warn a sister. You know what I mean? You got to warn a sister. You got to let everybody know what's going down.
But you notice how you couldn't pull rank on me? You couldn't pull that. We got to separate. You couldn't pull rank on me.
Like, what do rank got to do with making good decisions, protecting children?
Right.
too, but you're like, well, damn, it's his kid too.
It would have to be an end situation as well.
And you'd have to get the fuck out. And you'd have to get out. And you'd have to get out.
Understood. I completely understand that.
So it would be for who? You believe. This is why you don't deal with women with children, because, especially in our community, there is no blending families when this kind of
Remember now, he has a child.
stuff comes up. Because single mothers are too used to pulling rank. This is why single mothers are potentially so dangerous, because you're not used to having to actually split the responsibility. It's your child. And that's fine. But then why should any man have to deal with that? So I feel sorry for you ladies, but this is the positions a lot of women put themselves in, and then we're supposed to do what about it? Because if it was biologically my child, you said it would be over. Why would you not question your child? Why would you not question your dad? Why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Girl, whatever, that's your daddy.
What?
Girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Girl, whatever,
Wait,
that's your daddy.
I'm gonna sound like what's his name? Russell Westbrook. What?
He was been king, man. Yeah.
What?
He said that. You heard him right. You heard him right. Girl, whatever. After your child gets abused, this man right here, Kevin Samuels, said, girl, whatever, for her to tell her daughter, girl, whatever, that's your daddy. Let me play it again.
It will be over. Why would you not question your child? Why would you not question your dad? Why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy. 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 Yeah.
Torch, I'm gonna ask you a question, because we want to get a little bit. We got to think a little bit out the box, right? Could this be a connection to why they leave a lot of babies all around? Can we connect that to this?
So that they have resources?
Yes. Because I heard somebody say
we need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
So go ahead and break it down.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, if they didn't leave their seed everywhere, if they didn't procreate so much like rabbits, they wouldn't have the resources to play out their degeneracy, right?
Right.
I'm wondering if it's a connection to why they have the impulse to do that. Leave children everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are recycling through the community. They have a child with this woman, have a child with that woman. The next man, he come along. I might not be making no sense right now.
I mean, it's crazy. I understand that it gets emotional when you see this much effery going on.
This is why single mothers are potentially so dangerous.
Yes, exactly. Predo. Then they want ride or die loyalty, and unfortunately, to the black woman's demise, they got it. Then they want to. Then why they? Exactly. Why bring a child into to be abused? Yep. It's crazy.
Because they have a conscious mind, right? They do things consciously, but then you have a subconscious mind. This is what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
You do things without knowing that you're doing it. Okay, Quita, okay, she said, yes, I've been saying this. It helps sex trafficking, pedo work, etc. That way, no abort. It got to be some type of connection. Now we thinking these men, ladies, we thinking these men love us, and we're not practicing safe sex and birth control, right? Then we have the child, then we get another one. He possibly might unalive the child in you. So nothing, all of their behaviors have connection. And the root of it is their pathology. The base of it. Hit that link, Sam. I got some questions.
By the way, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Let me play a little bit more of this. I mean, man.
It would have to be an end situation as well.
And you have to get the fuck out. And you have to get out. And you have to get out.
Understood. I completely understand that.
So it would be for who? You believe. This is why you don't deal with women with children, because, especially in our community, there is no blending families when this kind of stuff comes up. Because single mothers are too used to pulling rank. This is why single mothers are potentially so dangerous.
Wait, Torch. This is the manosphere. This is their premise. They're trying to knock the woman off this power that they think we have over our children, over our lives. Because they don't have foresight, they use derogatory means to do it. Because this their God, right?
Right. Yeah, this is their God. So, I mean, they're the ones who said that. The one thing I heard was this. Kevin Samuels was the king of the black manosphere. Okay, number one. Number two, the black manosphere says, and I heard this in Dee Dee's room, that they represent all black men in the community. So if that's the case, what Kevin is saying here is represents them. There's no squeezing out. There's no red splaining out of that at all.
So look at his words as being a form of philosophy, right? You regurgitate the words. They probably even, I wouldn't be surprised if they wrote it down. So if this is their God, his words are the scriptures. And they're going to move accordingly to the words.
Actually, split the responsibility. It's your child. And that's fine. But then why should any man have to deal with that? So I feel sorry for
I don't know. Maybe because they love the woman. I don't know. How about that? He's coming from a frame of mind of a predator, of someone who sees things, boys or girls, or anything else as a resource for his own consumption. He's not thinking at all about a world where two people fall in love with each other and live together because they love each other. He's not thinking about that at all. He's thinking of consumption, resource, how much will it cost me? What do I have to do to get to it? That's all he's thinking about. That's why you're not hearing anything about love or benefits or anything like that.
ladies, but
And these
this
predators
is the
need supply,
position
Torch.
a lot of women put themselves in, and then we're supposed to do what about it? Because if it was biologically my child, you said it will be over. Why would you not question your child? Why would you not question your? Why would you not just say, girl, whatever, that's your daddy. 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 Yeah, children lie.
Is she actually trying to analyze this shit?
Well, see, this is the sad part. This is the sad part, Cyber. A woman like her, she's not like a lot of women think like she does. You're not really, but that's why we have this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's not like she's a hardcore mammy, but she's going through like what would I call it? She's confused.
She a covert mammy.
Yeah. Well, it's like if she gets the right information and she knows, and there are people for like this channel to support her and say, no, girl, you did the right thing by leaving a pedo, then she can build on that. You see what I'm saying? She can build on that. But a lot of women are not sure what to do in this situation. That's why, well, you saw the earlier footage about everything else. I don't want to play that stuff again, but you saw what we played and it wasn't pretty. You know what I mean?
The only way I can agree to what you just said if she's male identified. See, being male identified messes up your own womanly instincts. This is why she's confused.
I could see that. Yes.
Because being male identified is conditioning. It's something foreign. You have to go against your womanly instincts. This is why she's looking in the damn sky, trying to, you know what I'm saying?
So true. Well, you know, on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through tonight. We're going to call it an evening. 2 good hours of programming. 2 good hours, well produced by Kitten and Caskets and Miss RV. Thank you for your help. Excellent commentary.
Man, they be coming with it.
Yeah. An excellent commentary by Cyber Dreams. And we're trying to throw out the heat. We're trying to put the heat out here for y'all. If you have any concerns, comments, don't forget to we have a comment section after this video is over. A community wall. If you have suggestions or thoughts or anything you want, you can slam it in there.
Oh yeah, go vote. Go vote on the new poll, the text poll question.
Yes, definitely. We're going to keep those text polls going. If you like tonight's programming, put a 1 in the chat. Meanwhile, we're going to break it down like this.